Learn to connect your meta ads data to Google BigQuery. First, you will go to powermetrics.com and you will log in with your Google account. Once logged in on Power Metrics, you will go to Create and you will select Google BigQuery as destination. Here, you can connect your meta ads data or multiple data sources in case you want to blend your data. In this case, I am only choosing meta ads, and to organize my data, this connection will be called Marketing Report. Now, I will go to Next. I will connect my meta ad accounts. So I will go to Connect Accounts. I will be asked to log in with my Facebook profile, and Power Metrics will retrieve all the ad accounts with permissions under your Facebook profile. Here, I can select multiple ad accounts, but I will select these two ad accounts. Now I will go to Next, and it is time to create our queries or Google BigQuery tables. So in New Query, first I can change or select different data sources, but I will keep with meta ads, and it is time to set up my Google BigQuery connection. So the first step is connecting my Google account. So I will go to Add Account, I will connect a new Google account, I will select my Gmail account, allow, select permissions, and Power Metrics will retrieve all your project IDs. In my case, I will select this project called Marketing Data. I can select the location. By default, I generally use multi-region to make it agnostic. So here I will select US multi-region, and as dataset, I already created previously a dataset called PPC Data, a table called Meta Ads. Now, as I have finished my connection to Google BigQuery, it is time to create our actual query. I will select metrics. Remember, metrics are numbers like impressions, ad spend, clicks, conversions, and we bring them all. So I will start first with amount spent. Also, I want to bring, for instance, link clicks. I can bring impressions. I can bring, for instance, unique link clicks, but in this case, I can remove it and I can select, for instance, conversions like purchases. Now, with these metrics, I will finish in this part and I will go to dimensions. In dimensions, I can select anything like creatives, URLs, placements, campaigns. I will choose date, very universal, and also campaign name. So I can break down my date by both dates and campaigns. Here, I will close again dimensions and I will go back to metrics. I want to show you something. You could do this on Google BigQuery with some SQL, but we can do it now with AI on Power Metrics. So I will go to create a metric and I will call it, for instance, CPA. I will calculate my own cost per acquisition. I can prompt it in natural language and I will say, hey, divide my ad spend by my purchases. This will calculate it. And the good tiny detail about Power Metrics is that we will manage your null values. In the case that, for instance, your conversions are zero, in this case, it will be undetermined, infinite, or null. But we manage that and we make it a zero as well with this formula. So here I have my table, I have my preview, the formula works correctly, and I will go to create. I have created my first custom metric with meta ads data. I can do the same with dimensions. If I go to dimensions, I can create a new dimension and we can use our naming conventions from meta ads to segment and break down our data in the way we want, by client, by campaign, by brand, by funnel stage, and so on. In this case, I will create a new dimension called campaign type. And I will prompt again this. I will say, hey, if campaign name contains, for instance, conversions, tag it as conversions. If it contains engagement, tag it as engagement. And if it contains awareness, tag it as awareness. If none of this is the case, call it other. So I will select this prompt, I will run it, I will see the regular expression that this AI is understanding, and now I can see a preview of my output. If I go to the campaign names, I can see that the first campaign name contains engagement, it is tagged as engagement. The next campaigns contain the keyword conversion, and the final campaign contains awareness. It is tagged correctly. I will close. We have finished with our custom fields, metrics, and dimensions. Now for our query, we can select our date range. Power Metrics lets you connect custom date ranges and dynamic date ranges. Dynamic are, for instance, this year to date, this month to date, this quarter to date, the last 3 months, the last quarter, the last week, the last month, and so on. So regardless of what current date you are, it will do that calculation automatically. In this case, by default, I have my last 7 days, but I can select, for instance, this month to date. I am done with the date range selection. Now I can filter my data. So interestingly, the Meta Ads API just started to pull data from campaigns with no activity, with no ad spend, and that is noise. We can filter that. We can say, for instance, exclude all my campaigns whose ad spend, so the metric here or the value will be amount spent, and the operator will be equals to 0. So this will filter all my campaign data or all my data where I don't have any ad spend, so we don't have any activity or any campaigns running. I will close these filters and I will go to sorting. So I will go here in sorting and I will select the field that I want to use to sort my data. I will select amount spent and I want to descending. This means that I will organize my data by the campaigns with the most ad spend. I will finish the sorting and I will go to schedule. And this is one of my favorites. I can prompt in natural language any kind of schedule. For instance, I can input every hour, every day 8 p.m., every day at 9 a.m., every weekday, every Monday. For instance, in this case, I will do it with every day at 8 a.m. I will run this prompt and it understood perfectly my intent. It says that it will run every day at 8 a.m. and it is considering my time zone based on my browser. Now I will close this schedule, and on settings, you can select how you want to export this data or how you want to get this data on Google BigQuery. So we have three options: append, update, and overwrite data on Google BigQuery. Remember, if you are not that familiar with Google BigQuery, there is a hierarchy in your Google Cloud account. First, on Google Cloud, you have organizations like your company. Under organizations, you have projects. In this case, is marketing data. In this project, I can have multiple data sets. In my case, I call it, for instance, PPC data or marketing data. Under this data set, I can have multiple tables, and per table, I can run multiple specific queries on SQL. If you don't want to do any SQL, you can fully complete any table that you want to create with Power Metrics, with no code and AI. And this is how you can connect your methods to Google BigQuery. As a final observation, you might find that there is another way to connect your methods data to Google BigQuery. Actually, Google has its own native integration. I will say some limitations, but in another tutorial, I will also show how you can do it that way. Some of the limitations that you find is that, for instance, in Power Metrics, you will find more than 1,000 fields available. In the case of the native integration by Google, you will find several tables and endpoints, for instance, campaign data, certain performance data, but there are not that many breakdowns. Also, the kind of freshness and frequency that you can set is also limited. By your own, you need to blend and combine different tables. So it is very likely that you will need SQL and actually some data engineering and Python to do reporting automation with the free native integration by Meta. In the case of Parametrics, we build this for marketers, so you don't need to think of any Python, any SQL, only you only need to prompt your data, and like just with it, you have your data on Google BigQuery. I hope you like this tutorial. We'll be updating way more about BigQuery for marketers. So hopefully you can subscribe to our channel, follow us, and keep connected with us. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.